Today I fucked up by walking in on my roommate I met 3 hours ago going ham on his meat. So I moved into college a few days ago and didn't have a roommate. I was like, fuck yeah baby, whole dorm room to myself, this is chill. Next day I found someone else's stuff on the other half of the dorm room. I didn't mind. I wanted a roommate I guess anyway. So I meet the dude, total stoner, he's cool as fuck. We immediately knew it was gonna be a good year. We were chiefing a THC cart for hours. Here's where it all went wrong. I left my dorm while he was still in there to go hang with my girlfriend for a little bit. I was gone not but 45 minutes and I was going to bring my girlfriend to my dorm to meet him. I did the whole keys jiggle, talk a little bit, just let him know I'm about to come inside in case he was doing anything private. And oh boy he was. His bed faces straight ahead so I walk in and see his leg on his bed. I assumed he was just sleeping. I walked in farther and saw him going absolute fucking mad on his dick, beating the fuck out of it. He had AirPods in and didn't notice me, so I just walked back slowly in shock. My girlfriend didn't walk in yet and was like, what's wrong, and I just said, holy fuck he's beating his dick. And #X200B. Too long did not read. Left my dorm room for a while. Came back 45 minutes later, announced that I was walking in, jiggling the keys, clearing my throat, and walked in on my new roommate I met 3 hours prior going absolutely X Games mode beating his dick. What kind of madman lives in a single room with a roommate and whacks off with AirPods? He deserves every walk-in he gets. The fact you didn't pull yours out and start beating set the tone for the year. You fucked the vibe all up. The only way to make this right is while he's sleeping one night, stand in the middle of the room and start pounding. Vigorously, talkin' lotion everywhere and all. Crying. You owe him this. Should've pulled one of the AirPods and said, "Whatcha watching, bud?" You just thought he didn't hear you. He was ready to take things to the next level. Wait, so he didn't see you? You not lend a helping hand? Today I fucked up by not checking my Netflix settings for 4 years. Today I fucked up by not checking my Netflix settings for 4 years. For the last few years I've been very disappointed in Netflix. I've got the 4K tier but the quality was always consistently quite bad. Amazon Prime and Disney Plus looked far better, and I just assumed it was due to Netflix's poor encoding and bitrate in their content. It annoyed me enough to the point where I generally wouldn't watch stuff on Netflix often. Hell, I even bought movies on Blu-ray if they were on Netflix because I couldn't stomach the poor quality. Anyway, I was recently going through the settings to see if I could disable autoplay, kinda could, kinda couldn't, and I spotted probably the biggest fuck up I've made in a while. My profile was capped to standard definition. No idea why, but I must have set it years back. So for the last 4 years, I've been paying extra for the 4K tier but essentially receiving the quality of the lowest cost tier. That's a lot of wasted money with nothing to show for it. The good news is at least now I'm watching TV in 4K and the difference is night and day. Too long did not read. Netflix was set to 480p for 4 years while I was paying for the most expensive 4K tier. Well, I guess. You got some time back in your life by not watching as much Netflix? So you were sort of paying to not watch and have more time? Maybe? Can we pretend that at least? You paid for something you didn't like for 4 years? This is a while back, when HD was just becoming a thing. I was at a friend of mine's place, and he had just redone his entire basement. Full mancave wet bar, massive new TV, leather theater seating. He's got the baseball game on and it's grainy, but whatever, I assume he knows that. Then he wonders out loud why people make such a big deal about HD TVs. He bought one but the picture doesn't look any different to him. You're on a standard definition channel. Have you tried any of the HD channels? The what? It doesn't just automatically do that. Get him on an HD channel and he starts screaming for his wife to come see this amazing picture. Laughed about it for years. Today I fucked up by telling my date I was an MMA fighter. So I'm a woman in my 30s. I used to be an MMA fighter and was in the UFC. Well, last weekend I was out on a date with this guy that I met through a friend. We decided to go to a bar and have some drinks. As we were talking he started asking about what I do and I told him about what I've done and that I also am an instructor now in MMA. When I told him this, his attitude completely changed and he just kept telling me that he wanted to attempt at choking him out and he was being pretty obnoxious. I tried waiting a little bit to see if things would change, but he kept going. I eventually just ended up leaving the bar and went home. I feel like I would have had a much better time with him if I didn't mention that I was involved in martial arts at all. Definitely a fuck up on my end in this situation. Too long did not read. Today I fucked up by telling my date I was a former MMA fighter, wasting money on drinks and having him want me to choke him. Nah, you didn't fuck up. But you could have choked him back to reality that this was a date and not BDSM meeting. Fuck that. You didn't fuck anything up. Your date was a man-child that apparently couldn't read your body language or didn't care. I say you just found out that guy wasn't for you. You did nothing wrong. I'd be pretty impressed if a new date told me something like that. It shows you have a great work ethic and are willing to push through hard situations, so that translates pretty well into any potential relationship. Not a fuck up on your end. The guy was a total douche. You're better off finding someone who finds your past interesting rather than a challenge. Sounds like a cock-womble. Today I fucked up by getting tested for STDs during my physical exam. I'm 16 and today I had to the doctors for my physical exam. The doctor asked me if I was sexually active, and when I told them was. They then asked if I wanted to take a STD test and stupidly I said yes, not knowing that my parents would be able to see it on their insurance. I know I could have just gone to a free clinic or something like that, but this was just much easier. I come from a really religious Catholic family, and I'm not supposed to be having sex until marriage. So when my parents found out, they took my phone and went through it. I also have to turn my phone in every night before bed just so they can go through it again. I'm also grounded for the rest of the summer. Too long did not read. My religious parents saw I got tested for STDs on their insurance, went through my phone and grounded me. Tell them you thought you could get them from the toilet seat. Hopefully they'll realize how royally they fucked up by sheltering you from perfectly natural things. But if you're mature enough to get tested, you're mature enough to wrap it up. Not assuming you don't nor saying you shouldn't get tested because of that fact though. This is the parents' TIFU. You were being a reasonable, responsible adult. Good job. Being grounded and surveilled sucks, but it sucks less than the consequences of many STDs. And you aren't just saving yourself from the consequences of those STDs, you've saved your partners too. There may have been a better option, but this was better than the option of not getting tested. You did good.